Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Hairy Muppet, and we are going to be getting back into the semi-finals for the ASUS ROG Summer Tournament, and really some epic stuff going on. And we've seen quite a few players that we haven't seen in any previous tournaments, not only playing the quarterfinals, but getting through into the semi-finals. So right now we do have TaeJa. We've seen him in so many tournaments so far, and we know he is one of the most solid Terran players out there. And yeah, so don't need to say any more about him. He's freaking awesome. And here's up the top left, and down the bottom left is going to be our red Protoss player Alicia. And Alicia is the first tournament we've seen him in, and I gotta say he's done a really good job so far, beating Happy 3-1 in the quarterfinals. And Happy, of course, definitely a pretty good player. So yes, very interesting to see him in here. And yeah, going up against TaeJa, man. I mean, he's just beaten a Terran player. Really nice job. And actually, yeah, man, Alicia. Sorry, I'm going to talking about Happy a little bit. He was going for a lot of the Triple M. He had the Ghost Viking combination going on as well. Really nice against Protoss. And Alicia had the Colossus. He had the Storms, and he had a whole ton of Zealots and other miscellaneous units. So he had that big Protoss ball of ground units with Colossus and High Templar support. And it's really awesome. He did a really good job. And Alicia just beat him. I mean, there was like 3 games where those guys were fighting those armies off against each other. And Alicia just made it work every single time. He did lose one game, and that was when, yeah, I believe that Happy knocked out Alicia's expansion very early in the game with some nice Triple M stuff. I believe it was Marauders off the top of my head. So yeah, that was what got him out there. But otherwise, I mean, his Colossus, his High Templar, and just his general ground forces are very strong versus Happy. TaeJa is definitely going to have to watch out for that if he decides to go for some Triple M sort of stuff. And yeah, TaeJa, man, in the quarterfinal, just going off against a Zerg player, Ghostware, and it just went all over the place, man. He did win 2 times with Triple M, and the 3rd time was actually with Banshees. That was his first game, man. He just got the Banshees out there, just constantly hitting stuff left, right, and center. Really freaking awesome, man. He did drop 1 game to Ghostware though, and that was just Ghostware just went nuts on the economy, man. Just Roach Hydra all over the place, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but I do think that TaeJa might have let him get away with the macro a little bit there. But going up against a Protoss player, it's a whole different type of ball game, and this Nexus already half done for Alicia, and TaeJa yet to get down an expansion, which I gotta say is unusual. I really gotta say that, because he's on a big open map. He's not even facing a Zerg, he's facing a Protoss. So not having a base at this point, very unusual. He's got a very fast starport. You can see he's not going for anything crazy. We're not going for Hellbat drops, we're not going for Banshees. It's just straight up Triple M, Medevac, Hellion Harass. Nothing really special going on here, but he's chosen not to go for the early expansion. And this I'm not really sure what TaeJa is planning right now, because not getting that early expansion is really going to cost him in about 3 minutes time, and the economy of Alicia is really going to start pumping out. You can see those 2 workers coming out. He's finally getting the expansion down, but yeah, look at this, 6 workers ahead, and that gap is just going to increase. By the time this expansion comes down, he's probably going to be like at least 8-10 workers behind. He is going to get a very fast drop here. I don't know if he can get quite this fast, but whether it can do a ton of damage, I do not know. This Hellion is going to be pretty free to do his work. He's got another Hellion as well, and this Marine's taking out the pylon, doing a lot of stuff. If we have a look at the structures tab, he's only got 1 gate and 1 robo facility, so this is actually pretty bad for Alicia, man. He was teching up without getting a lot of gateways nice and early. So these Marines out here are going to do quite a lot of damage, and the Widow Mine getting a couple of nice shots as well. He's only got 1 kill. But look at this, man. I take back everything I said about TaeJa. about him not doing a very good job in this game, because he is doing a very, very good job in this game. And this is the problem, I think, with the Protoss. They've got that beautiful point where they love to go for a bit of tech first. They don't expect to be attacked really, really early on. You see a lot of players do it. Stardust does it as well, and probably a few other Protoss players as well. They get out the one gateway, then they get into a robotics facility very, very soon, and once they start getting a couple of observers out, then they go for the second, third, fourth gateway and stuff like that. They don't care about being attacked at the 6-7 minute mark. They don't expect it. They just get the robo facility out as fast as they can, start pumping out a couple of immortals, maybe if they're going to get Zerg against roaches, then they'll think about it. But yeah, the gateway tech does not, the amount of gateways they get out, not really that much. It's just one, and then they'll just sit on that for until the 6 minute mark, and then they start getting out some more. So yeah, and TaeJa just perfectly timed the attack to take advantage of the way that the Protoss players work. They're getting just not getting it done, man. Just doing a beautiful job. The observer seeing the medevac. This is going to be scary. He's got to get out of there. Oh, just couldn't get out there. But if we have a look at the economy, TaeJa, man, really just pulled back. Did a beautiful job of wiping out a lot of workers. I think perhaps all of the workers over there got taken out, and Alicia, from being in the front, as is definitely behind now. He is getting an army though. He is getting a lot of these very, very bulky stalkers, and the problem is that TaeJa doesn't have a lot of marauders. He's got one, he's building another one, but you really need marauders to really, really hurt these guys. I mean, Marines, I do not know if I'd bet on the Marines in a straight up match up against Stalkers, because Stalkers do so much damage, and yeah, I mean, it's just great. They just do a lot of stuff. They're a lot bulkier than Marines. Look at this, 160 health, man. He's starting to get some Marauders into this bunker, though, and that is going to be helping worlds. Those two Marauders are going to be doing a fantastic job. You can see he's moved them over into the front bunker. He knows how good they are. And yeah, right now, Alicia is just having a bit of trouble. He's sending in some Zealots to try and distract her, putting a time warp down on that to try and slow the attack speed. And does that actually slow the bloody speed for the repair? Does it? That is crazy, man. Time warp, does it slow the repair speed? I guess maybe it does. I guess maybe that's a thing, that repair speed is actually slowed by the SCV, in which case, really, really, really nice. But Alicia actually given the GG there. Maybe we'll see why. There's a Widow Mine there. Look at this, man. And he's just about to burrow it, and that probably would have sent him behind a little bit. So I guess this was Alicia's death push, man. He was very, very far behind, and he was trying to do something, and it didn't work. I mean, it just didn't work. I'm not sure where those two Marauders ended up at, but I think, yeah, they moved back here, so that's fine. They managed to save them. And yeah, TaeJa pushed him right to the edge of the cliff, and Alicia just got everything he could, sent it in there, and just finished it off. And I tell you what, man, if I was Alicia right now and I was playing against another player in Silver League, right at this point, I would not quit. I would just say, all right, let's go back, let's try and outplay him, let's try and pick up the pace, because you're behind at that point. You're quite a bit behind, but if you're a better player, then you can push, then you can try and make something happen, then you can try and get ahead, and maybe it'll work out. Alicia knows that he is potentially a little bit better than TaeJa, but he's not a lot better. He knows he's not a lot better than TaeJa, so trying to come back from this behind position that he's in is pretty much impossible. So he could delay the inevitable, or he could just GG. So he gave the GG, and yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, there's probably the really professional commentators who were probably saying this game was over like 5 minutes ago. So yeah, really, really good. So Alicia running into a little bit of trouble in this game against TaeJa, and we're going to see if he can push back, or whether TaeJa will just keep bulldozing through. We know that TaeJa can make it to the grand finals, so I would not be surprised to see him take this out. But Alicia, man, he did a really great job beating out Happy, and I'd love to see him keep pushing out. And man, oh man, oh man, San as well is another Protoss player I haven't heard too much about. He beat Don Regu in the quarterfinals, and if he can beat Stardust, then it'll be two. I don't like to say lesser known, but as far as my casting goes, lesser known Protoss players in the grand final, and wouldn't that be awesome? But yeah, I don't think I've ever cast a tournament with its PvP in the grand final, but that would be friggin' sweet. So anyway, moving on, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's move on to game number 2 of this series. Alicia is now down 1 game, and yeah, he is going to definitely have to push and see if he can get it back up. So stay tuned for that. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.